from one service station to another, delivers spare parts. She always had to carry 3 changes of clothes with her because she knew that she would need them. She had no control over her bladder. She would leak. And she came across my information on salt and started increasing her salt intake. And within 3 or 4 days, she noticed the difference. Within 8 days, she was totally dry. And this is her quotation from the book. She says, "I have a weak bladder and had even taken spare clothing as I was sure they would be needed. I arrived with not a drop of anything on my clothing. I had talked myself off salt, a bad mistake." It's a bad, sad experience that 15 million people have that? I understand that there are this number of people who have this problem and bear it with a lot of grace, but unfortunately they are suffering. So salt is a vital element. We come to the gist of what I had experienced in the prison, because in prison we were all stressed and we didn't have activity, we were not able to move, we didn't have a proper environment of health. So I tried to find out what is the connection to dehydration. Then I realized that in stress, vasopressin is secreted, which I explained is a transmitter, neurotransmitter or hormone that operates the reverse osmosis program. Then we produce endorphin, which allows us to endure hardship during our stress. Then we produce prolactin, because prolactin is the element that is needed by the body in the reproductive phase of life in order to keep reproductive organs functioning. And then we produce cortisone release factor, because cortisone release factor is essential for mobilization of raw materials from the interior of the body when it's not arriving as a result of water intake and absorption of food. Then we also produce renin-angiotensin activity, which regulates the blood volumes and the vascular system volumes, which is actually directly responsible for absorbing more salt or getting more salt and developing a salt appetite. As a result of my research and my understanding the relationship between histamine, hydration, histamine production to renin-angiotensin system activation, and vasopressin and prostaglandin production, define the following conditions as the primary indicators of or consequences of chronic dehydration. This is not a leap of faith, it's an actual fact that when you are dehydrated, those elements become secreted, and this relationship, because of our knowledge of medicine, have to be assumed to be produced by dehydration. Dehydration manifests itself in the body by 4 different ways. The perceptive feelings that the brain becomes aware of dehydration first and produces its own markers of dehydration, which we never understood. Then water rationing programs are the next indicators. And then we have crisis calls of the body for water and disease complications.